Okay, eighth grade. So to finish off your Koi Fish Shades project, um, you're going to be doing what is called a wash. Okay? And a wash is when you use watercolor paint. You can have different kinds of washes, but in our case, we are going to be doing something called a wet on wet wash. And that gives a nice effect to the background to almost make it look like they're in water. Now it is up to you if you want to use green or blue. Okay, that is entirely up to you. But what you're going to need is a brush, a little bowl, water bottle, you might have to fill it, and a set of watercolor paints. Those are all available on my watercolor cart. You look around the room, you will see it. Now, once you get yourself set up, the first thing you are going to do is you're going to get a couple brushes full of water into the color that you're going to be using. So I just dab in the bowl. Notice I didn't fill the bowl all the way up. You should know better because that'll cause a spill. All right, so I got some water in that blue right there. If you're doing green, you would put it in the green. Okay, now, next up, while we still have this nice clean water, you're going to start by doing your first part of the wet on wet process. We are going to wet the paper going around our fish. I know this seems awkward and that it's hard to see. Just try and remember where you are with the water and what you've gotten done. Try not to get any water into the fish because the paint will get in there if you do. Okay, and we don't want our fish to turn blue. And you only want to do small areas at a time with this. So I've done kind of in here. All right. And all the while, that water that's sitting in my blue is softening it up a little bit. So now that I've gotten this area nice and wet, lots of water, the water is soaking into the paper. And what happens is now I'm going to start working my water into the color that I've chosen. Okay, the longer you do this, the thicker the paint will become and the darker it will be on the paper. So keep that in mind. And then if you look at what happens, okay, it starts to spread on its own. So you are just going to very carefully kind of move this paint around, recharge the brush whenever you want. Okay, you can have some lighter areas and darker areas. You're just going to keep getting that background color into our project in this manner. You can see that the colors really kind of blend and mix around and spread, and that is because the paper is wet. It gives a nice soft appearance of water. Remember that the longer you work the water into the paint in the tray, the darker your color will become. Okay, so be careful not to make it too dark. You can always add more color. Okay, so let's say I don't like how light that area is right there, or you want a shadow around your fish, just do that. And eventually when that dries, it'll be a nice fade from dark to light all on its own. You don't have to make that happen. So that is how you're going to be doing the background. Okay, when it is time to clean up, you want to make sure that you keep this project very flat as you walk it up to the front of the room where the drying rack is. And that's it. Make sure your name is on the back before you start painting.